Anyway, aside from that, then there's the final thing I might talk about: Smash Brothers. Oh no, wait! Before that, there's Splatoon. It's basically Nintendo's response to shooters. It looks interesting. I'll say that much. I'll buy it for now, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna definitely buy it. But I mean, if I could, I would. It looks fun. I mean, it's a shooter kind of, but it's different. Like I said, when Nintendo tries to do something, they do it differently, and yet it's still enjoyable. They also tease that Star Fox at the end, but I mean, it looks so much like Star Fox 64 from what I saw. It's like, please don't be trying to get on our nostalgia again. That's like what I've been saying earlier, but seriously, I think that that's the case because it looks like it's still in alpha stages or possibly beta. So I'm hoping it changes a lot more from there because I want it to look fully fleshed out, feel different, and feel more advanced. You know, I mean, it looks like it has Star Fox 64 3D graphics, which we know the freaking Wii U can do way better than that. We know that for sure. But anyway, regardless, I'm hoping that's the case. That's not the case, and it changes. Anyway, on to the main thing, Smash Brothers. Now, for the beginning, oh god, you saw Reggie and Iwata going at it before. Not just before they started playing Smash Brothers, they were punching and blocking. I seriously thought of JoJo, and I just wanted to Photoshop Jotaro Kujo's face on Iwata and Dio Brando Reggie. He's oh, that shit's great. Speaking of that, that show's gonna get dubbed apparently, but I'm worried about that dub just because for those two phrases alone, especially Muda, because that means useless, and you can't say useless, useless. See, I can't. It's hard to say multiple times. But anyway, aside from that, they showed the Mii fighters. There are 3. We knew Mii's were going to come in here. We weren't surprised there. I wasn't surprised there. You have the Mii Brawler, which is they're up close and personal, like to punch and kick. Sword Fighter, or Sword Master, I don't know. Sword Fighter uses a sword, because it looks a little more elegant in the fighting, and a Mii Gunner, which basically take Mega Man's arm cannon and give it to the Mii. There you go. And apparently you can customize these Miis even more in battle, which is great. I mean, like outfits and stuff, which is really nice. So, I mean, and I love how they showed some people. Abraham Lincoln. What did they say again? Let me go look that up because it was great. I need to look up Mii Fighter. Let's go see. Okay, Ice-T is like Ice-T pours it on. Elijah Wood likes to battle. Where's the Abraham Lincoln one? I saw it. I know I saw it. But, it was great. I like the Lincoln one the best. Lincoln gets sworn in. You see, that shit's great. If I have the pictures of those, I'll put them up. But, oh my god, they're so great. I love the Lincoln ones. Like, Mr. President, we all thought you were God. Glad to see you're still alive, sir. Imagine if you could, if it lets you make those for as a dorm, like you make Ice-T pours in, you can actually edit that yourself. That would be great. And then I remember seeing someone on Tumblr say, Waluigi can now be in Smash Brothers. Like, ooh, way to pour salt in the wound. And it looks cool. I'm interested. And then to top that off, there's also Palutena. I mean, I'm not surprised. Everybody saw Palutena coming because if Sakurai loves one thing, it's his characters from games he's done. I mean, he put DDD, and he even voiced DDD in Brawl. Little trivia right there. And then Palutena's in. And I had this anime cutscene where it was Link versus Pit, and Link kicked his ass. Pit was just like on the defensive trying to evade and crap, but no hope. No hope. And he was going to finish him off if Palutena did. She just sends him away. He's like, nope, it's okay, I can do this myself. And she just wrecks everybody. So I was like, I want to see some Palutena versus Rosalina. But my god, when she debuted, people could judge me for this, but that ass, man. Nobody will stop talking about it. I don't blame them. She looks great. I need Uprising right now. I need Kid Icarus Uprising right now. Anyway, she looks like she'd be an interesting fighter. She seems to be like a more ranged fighter, to me at least, because she can use up close stuff, but you saw a lot of attacks that had a very big range of fighting. So she seems to be like the ranged attacker. However, that's not the end of it, because later on, in closed doors, which to me sounded stupid, they had a Smash Brothers tournament too, and I loved how it ended. Thank God Zero Suit Samus won. Like, I don't like Kirby, so good thing he lost. But oh well. Oh, the hype. And then Reggie said that he's gonna kick his ass. Oh, Reggie is not afraid. He's like, where would we be without Reggie? But anyway, behind closed doors, they revealed 2 characters, Game & Watch and Pac-Man. I was hoping, I knew it wouldn't have been the case, but I really wanted Lloyd Irving to be in there. But let's be reasonable. Even if Sakurai didn't want him in there, Nintendo would have made him put Pac-Man in there. There's no way they're going to miss their chance for Pac-Man versus Mario versus Mega Man versus Sonic. 4 of the most iconic gaming characters in gaming history in the same game. They're not missing that chance. They're not going to miss that chance. And then from what I've heard, that might be virtually all of the cast in Super Smash Brothers, which that's scary, because we know that Ness isn't in, which I don't care if he's not in. If Lucas is not going to be in there, I don't care. Captain Falcon's not going to be in it, and that makes me angry, because Captain Falcon is a icon to Smash. Need I remind you of the Falcon Punch, the Falcon Kick, and the Knee of Justice? I'm hoping that they're just hidden characters that they don't want to show off and let you find out yourself. And then, as last but not least, a Fire Emblem Awakening character. I don't know why they put Ike. I mean, I know he was a fan favorite and all, but he wasn't that much talked about anymore. In Japan, I don't think nobody cared about him as much, because one of the number 1 lords there was, if not Marth, it was Lyn. If it wasn't Chrom, Lucina, Chrom, Lucina, or Marth, it was Lyn, or it was Roy. It was usually the Fire Emblem 6-7 characters. They were the dominating lords over there. So, I mean, Lyn's an assist trophy, and I'm just great that she's in. But Chrom can't be in now. Ike and Chrom would have played too similar, and if you make Chrom in between, like somewhat speedy and somewhat strong, that's not going to be diverse enough in the cast. So, if anything, I'm hoping that the Avatar is in there. They might reveal him or her later, because I think that can be a male or can be a female, and you have some designs to make. You can even go so far as to make the designs yourself, because clearly, if the Mii fighters can have so much diversity and designs, you can do that with the Avatar, somewhat. So, I'm hoping that the Avatar can get in it, because it makes more sense now, because it can use swords and magic. Anyway, it's time for my scores. This video's gone on long enough. I'm actually going to split it up, probably in the video itself, so I just wanted to record it all at once. Time to list the ratings. Microsoft, I think, did actually well, because they talked about games, and they didn't even speak once of the Kinect. That is an improvement if I've ever seen one. Nothing great, because there was not a lot that impressed me, but that's just me on a personal level. B. EA. They weren't that great. I mean, I loved how they opened up with Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, that got me good. But there wasn't much as well as to get interested in. But they didn't do bad. Of course, all the feels. C+. The plus, however, I will note, is because of Battlefront. Ubisoft. This one was interesting. Originally, I was going to give them a B, because I love the announcer, or the speaker. She's great. She's a wonderful woman. But I swear, every year her high heels get bigger, and that worries me. But, I like the games they showed off, and I love the quirkiness and stuff. However, recently, they revealed that the reason why there is no female assassin is that because that would take a lot of work. And honestly, that pisses me off. I mean, who wouldn't want to play as a female assassin? Even as a guy, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'll probably play as a guy on my first run because I'm a guy, but what if I want to play as the girl, see if there's any differences? But no. They had to, they decided not to do that, and as I find the reason, because there are some people talking about it here, I did reblog it on Tumblr, and, well, it just bothers me. It's like, why not? Why? Don't tell me your team is small enough. I'd understand if your team was the equivalent of like maybe Atlas small, but even then, look at what they did with Persona 3 Portable. They made that a thing. They had, well, even though she's not canon, Minako is not canon. It's like apparently they don't want to replace about 8,000 animations. It's because it would take a lot of effort. It's like, don't you give me that shit. You want to sell even more? You put in more effort. You get out as much as you get in, or something. The expression's something like that, and that honestly bothered me. Now, I would like to say I'm a feminist, but I'm more equality. I want everybody to get equal rights and equal representation. It's because of that honestly offended me. C+. They were originally going to get a B, but that really bothers me. So C+ to a B-. Around there. I can't give a specific one. Sony. There wasn't much I was interested in, so I didn't care. But what my problem with them was, Microsoft improved the most. However, they still didn't have anything I liked, so that was one thing. Sony had not many things I liked. It was still the same. Let's talk about a lot of shooter stuff or something with guns. And I just didn't like all the things that were there. I mean, they looked like they had some fun, but then when they got to technical stuff, it was like, oh, come on, you went to the same thing, like you did the same trap you fell for last time, get all technical. You talked about shows. Are you trying to be Microsoft? Microsoft learned their lesson. Oh, you don't like TV shows. Okay, we won't talk about it. So why are you doing that now? Sony, I'm afraid of this path you're going to follow. It scares me. And then, well, compared to last year, they fell into the trap I also expected them to fall into. Not being as exciting as last year, because when they were last year, they were just talking trash about Microsoft. They were dissing. They were trying to say, like, yeah, we're the badasses here. We're the console you want. We are the best one here. They had that power, that charisma, and they just didn't have it here. So it wasn't all that amusing to me. So for that, I have to give a B-. I don't think that they did great. Don't get me wrong. But comparing it to last year and just how boring they sounded to me here, it wasn't all that appealing. Nintendo. I'm not going to say, oh, best everything, but I was interested in more games here. Granted, I'm more biased to some of these. And I just don't know. I don't know. My problem with Nintendo, yes, their presentation was great, virtually from start to finish. However, 47 minutes? I thought this was going to be 60. You had at least 13 minutes to cram in some other things. Okay, Microsoft and Sony had 90 minutes, and look what they accomplished. Look at what they try to do. But then you go to Nintendo, they did it in about half the time. They accomplished a lot, but really, if you just put in more time, you would have got even more out of it. You had the hype train going, but then this train hit the brakes too soon from the stop. They had a lot of hype. I felt a lot of hype. And then when Reggie's saying, we're done here, practically, it's like, what? It's over already? No. This is too short to be over. I was at least expecting 5 more games on this list of games that they already put in. 5. And I was hoping one of them was SMT Cross FE, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. And that makes me think, okay, if I don't see Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem at either Tokyo Game Show or any mention for the rest of this year, I will say that the game got cancelled. But beside that, they ended off way too soon. Granted, they had the Treehouse event live to talk about. They had this 90-minute presentation, which I'm pretty sure is shorter than they predict, because I bet you it doesn't last that long, really. And you didn't have, and you had the Smash Brothers tourney, which if that didn't hype you for the new Smash Brothers game, I don't know what will. I still felt that they, even aside from that, even if I count all that, I felt that they stopped that hype train way too soon. If they had people in their hands, in both of their hands, and then they just slipped up. Honestly, I felt that I felt. Don't get me wrong. I still want a Wii U now. I have plenty reason for a Wii U. But really, you could have added even more. I don't think there's any excuse for that. If they can give a lot, if the other two can give a lot of reason, so can you. A lot more. For that, I have to give a B. Overall, everybody did great. I can't even say who was best of show. I will see lots of mixed opinions everywhere, and I won't blame anybody. If you say Sony won, understandable, but I personally think they lost. They didn't do the best at all. Microsoft won, I can understand, because they've improved a lot compared to last year. And Nintendo won, because look at all that hype. Look at how much they controlled the audience, despite being so far away and not having a press conference. And they were aware of that, and they just said, oh, we don't care if we're not my problem, as Reggie said. However, from that perspective, I can't give who won. I will say Microsoft was the most improved, with Nintendo after. Sony didn't keep that hype going from last year, which is a shame. But in terms of games I was interested in, I was way more interested in Nintendo games than the other two consoles, and the other two streams, being EA and Ubisoft. But I'm not counting them really. So aside from that, Nintendo I was interested in more, obviously, which no surprise there. Anyway, that's it for my E3 thoughts. Please tell me your thoughts as well at the in the comments. And yes, I'll definitely have to split this up. 55 minutes. Oh god, that's way too long. Anyway, I appreciate all of you watching the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and support me. And well, I'll see you guys in another video.